What's going on, everybody? Drew and JC are here with Horror Watchers, and it has been a plethora of issues and problems starting us off. So hopefully we can get through the rest of this evening without any of the IT problems. We have a really cool guest, someone I'm excited to talk to. And as always, I'm dyslexic, so I'm just gonna kick it over to her, let her do some talking, so that I don't trip over a bio.
Hello, I'm Alyss Winkler. I'm an indie horror actress I think we're getting close to almost 10 years now.
So that's I didn't realize it was that long. That's super cool, actually.
So, most people would think that my first film I ever did was Plank Face with Band in Motion Pictures, but I had actually done a couple smaller projects before that under a different name. But you can't get those films, luckily. So, no one gets to see how bad I was when I first started out.
What? They're not out there anywhere. I bet you I could find them.
No, I
No,
own copies of them, and only a few, like a handful of other people own copies of these movies.
you you need it as like a kill switch. Like if somebody ever threatens you or something, I'll release these movies if I don't hit this
Well,
button every day.
they actually used to be on YouTube for a short period of time, and they got pulled. And I know where to find them, but I only show my friends, like in person.
So they're online.
They used to be, yeah.
Hmm.
Those are some of the best movies, though. Like that's the kind of stuff that we make.
Yeah.
It's just I just gotta laugh and deal with the embarrassment and just kind of like, hey, I made movies, man.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I definitely deal with it. They weren't bad. They were fun, and they were what got me started in the industry. But most people know my first films being Plain Face and Space Babes from Outer Space. That's when I really hit everybody's radar.
um, I believe I have seen Space Babes from Outer Space, but I have not seen Plank Face. But
I
I
believe
saw
it's
the
on
poster
Tubi.
for it. Yeah, I saw the poster for it like this evening because I do try to come up with at least some kind of research and topics to discuss. And just
Are you calling
reading
me
that
out?
one, yes, I am, because you called out the hat. So you shot first, and that's how that works. Uh, but I think I was on Plex or something. I saw the poster for Plank Face. I thought that movie looked really cool. Like, can you tell us a little more about it?
So Plank Face is about a young man who goes camping with his girlfriend, and he's kidnapped after an interaction with another person they meet in the woods by the small family of very feral, wild women. And it's very kind of aggressive. I'm not going to tell you what happens to this poor man, but he really goes through it with this family. I myself play Bunny Girl in it. She is this carefree, wild spirit, very adult in body and young in mind. Um,
Okay.
she's not necessarily a good person in the film, considering some of the stuff she does, but she's definitely one that has made a huge impact in what I do as an actor. I don't really have much dialogue for her in the entire film. It's a made up language that she speaks through the whole movie.
Oh,
Was that
now when we
difficult?
say,
For me, I didn't find it too difficult because when I was younger, my siblings and I would do stuff like that. So it was like a game of pretend on a grander scale.
is it an actual like full fledged language that somebody made up, or was it just like some words?
It was words and phrases, but sometimes we would still say them off camera and off set,
Yeah.
like "Pinida gerafa." It's like Big Daddy's getting fat.
Oh, is
Okay.
that directed at? Wait, is this directed at me?
No, it's
Yes,
just a
it
line
was.
from the film.
I'm out. I'll see you guys later.
Darn, I've insulted everybody already.
Well, you didn't say anything about my superior team hat. But did they have subtitles for when you spoke?
Yeah,
Okay, cool, cool.
there is
Yeah.
some subtitles for when I'm talking, so you can actually kind of learn a little bit of the dialogue, and it's not too hard to figure out in context of what's happening on screen.
Right on. Yeah. So we kind of jumped into movies without kind of doing background. I guess because of our IT issues here that we had, we were just kind of moving at a faster pace. But so you do like lots of other things outside of movies too. Like I noticed that you kind of have a background in you do a little bit of like burlesque,
Yep.
and I noticed that you do some like witchy stuff.
Yeah. I'm very
Um,
eclectic in everything I do.
Well, I mean, we're down for witchy stuff too. Like with this show originates as a paranormal podcast that we started a
Oh
couple of
yeah.
years ago. Like, hence the Bigfoot crap behind me because the program won't let me change it.
Oh
But
no.
um, so we get into all that kind of eclectic stuff. But I'm wondering like with that like vast array, like that diversity in your background, like do you pull from one of those things into the other when you're like maybe on on stage doing burlesque? Like, are you
Yes,
pulling
actually.
from your horror stuff?
I love doing horror themes in my burlesque. I actually have a creature from the Black Lagoon routine that I do. I'm
That's sick.
also a, a sideshow performer. I am an insectivore and a blockhead, and I'll include that and stuff. I love grossing out the audience and getting to mix a little of sensual and burlesque with let's make everyone try not to throw up today. It kind of like makes it more entertaining.
Well, are you making out with bugs, or what's
So
the?
an insectivore is someone who eats insects. So I actually eat live insects for the audience, and I'll do like from very tiny waxworms, mealworms to superworms to live crickets and night crawlers, and then you just eat large amounts of them. But all of it is alive when I eat it in front of the audience.
I can't say I've done that, but
Well, thanks. Back when you were a little kid, you probably ate a bug at some point.
I don't think I did.
I I
Not on purpose.
sometimes get the lollipops with the bugs inside.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The only thing
So
is mine are still moving around.
yeah.
Now,
So
so you're obviously used to doing that, and it doesn't bother you. But has there ever been a time that you did do it and it was like, oh no,
I did
like
throw up. I
every
was
time?
no, I
Okay.
was doing it at a horror convention, and I happened to be on stage, and it was the first time doing it for a very large audience that way. And the night crawler I was eating, so they have their little grippies on the ends of them. I mean, that's how they inch themselves across the pavement. Well, he decided he'd grab the back of my uvula and then extend down my throat. So, of course, he made me throw up. I threw up into my hand, and because I'm what's called a geek, it's a sideshow. It's a art that's dying out in sideshow. These were the people who bit heads off chickens and ate live snakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since
mhm.
I'm gross and a geek,
No,
I
no,
had
no,
thrown
no,
up
no, no,
into
no,
my
no.
hand and had to eat it in front of
Just
everyone.
ate it back. That,
Yep.
I know what geeks are because of trauma. So
Yes.
Luther the geek, I
I'm so
am
sorry you look so traumatized.
fully aware of that.
I'm not terrified. I'm impressed that you're doing this
Yep.
because like I'm trying to imagine myself doing it.
The show must go on.
I mean, like I literally like the smell of mowed grass makes me gag.
Really?
Well, that's
So
just because he doesn't leave his house, though. That's just
that's true.
he's
I,
just
I
not
also
used
don't. I
to
also I also
nature.
don't mow my own grass. So if I smell mowed grass, it reminds me of me mowing my grass. But it's honestly impressive. Like they've always there's even like pro wrestling. Like they've had characters that did like stuff like that, like draws in the
Hmm.
WWF. You would throw up. And they had the boogeyman who would come out and
Yep.
eat worms and
Yeah,
He
stuff
ate
like
night
that.
crawlers.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's scary. I didn't know they could. I knew how they crawled, but I didn't know they like had the strength to like hold on to like.
So with eating bug, there is always a risk to sideshow, and that's part of the appeal of doing it. When it comes to being an insectivore, most people will go, "Okay, well, you're just eating a bug. It's really not a big deal." Well, I run the risk of parasites. I run the risk of metal toxins, and if I eat certain insects, they can actually crawl back up because they're hardy enough to survive long enough to do it. So superworms and crickets have to be chomped immediately before they go down because they could come up or they could hurt me.
So what is a superworm?
Yeah.
Think a mealworm, but much larger. So a mealworm's typically only about this big. A superworm's going to be probably, I keep going off camera, about that big.
So like kind of like a fat grub.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you can
But
go to your
dangerous.
average pet store and buy them.
I don't want to do that, but
I just don't tell my pet store why I'm buying them.
oh no! You just outed yourself.
It's all right. They don't know. It's fine.
That's where all the squirrels went.
We're very popular with the pet store people. Actually, they're our biggest demographic. Do you have you ever had the opportunity to demonstrate this in a film?
Technically yes, but the scene got cut, and I was very upset by it.
If I went and did that, I'd be real mad.
Yeah.
I was upset because I thought it was cool, but the look of the makeup we had did not sit right, so we cut the scene.
Oh man, that would be pretty disappointing. Which film was that?
Gush, actually, my most recent one.
So is that one out yet? Because
it is now touring the festival circuit.
Okay. All right, interesting. Yeah, I was going to ask about that because I saw that was like the highest on IMDb, and I do recall some news about it not too long ago. But
we actually have a screening coming up next weekend, I believe, or the weekend after, at Cinema Scares over in the Skyline Theater in Indiana.
Oh,
is Jessa Flux in that with you? Like
in Gush? No, she's not. That's Ellie Church.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where I would have gotten any type of like recent news about it, but I for sure have.
If you got it from Jessa, and more than likely she shared it because we're very good friends.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So is that the state of Indiana or the town of Indiana?
State. I believe the town of Shelbyville is where the Skyline is, but don't quote me on that.
I know that's a town. I don't know if that's where that's at, though.
We're right next to Springfield.
Ohio?
No, that was a Simpsons reference.
Oh.
There's a Springfield in every state.
There is, pretty much. I don't know if there's one in Pennsylvania, though.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I didn't expect that one to bomb the way that it did. So.
Yeah, it did. Don't do that.
I'll leave
there is no
to
Shelbyville in Pennsylvania. That's amazing.
Huh.
But I did find Shelbyville, Indiana's website. They have 14 confirmed bald eagles in the city. Okay, in case anybody was wondering, I'm sorry.
Interesting fact.
He has a habit of doing that. He gets on his weird diatribes of Google.
Yeah.
But so like, do you have any kind of like say in, wardrobe or character design, because you do kind of have that burlesque background? You kind of bring like that artistic flair.
That kind of changes film to film and company to company. With some companies, I will provide my own costuming. They'll just provide a script. We'll talk about the character and we'll kind of go from there. Other films I have done, they will do all my measurements. They'll make the costume. That's what I'm wearing for the rest of the movie. They'll provide everything. They'll do the hair, the makeup. But it kind of just changes. I've had the opportunity to do some really cool stuff with my makeup, my hair, and all of that for films. But honestly, I really like getting the chance to go to a film set and then provide everything else because it helps kind of get me out of my own wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's cool. I imagine it is much easier just to show up and just have your performance and lines ready to go, and that kind of be your focus without having to do all of the extra stuff on top of it.
It can be.
So, yeah. What got you into horror specifically? Like, everybody kind of has like that gateway drug. For me, like, I lived in a town that had just the coolest video store ever, where you could walk down a spiral staircase into the second, like a bottom floor that was just nothing but horror section stuff. And I remember going in there like super young, like kindergarten, and getting like sleepaway camp and everything, and taking that
Oh,
stuff
that's
home.
cool.
And I just got sucked into it at such an early age. So I'm always like super curious about how other people get into it, because it's just like unique to everybody.
My mother, actually.
Yeah.
My
How
mom
did
is a huge horror buff. Absolutely loves horror. I grew up watching horror and watching independent horror films, having horror collectibles all over the house. My mom is like my biggest supporter in what I do with it. She's the reason I even went to my first horror movie convention where I met filmmakers. And she has gone out of her way to try and make it to as many premieres as she can. I just spent the weekend with her at Horror Hound, and she loves just telling everybody about my work. And everything I do is because of her.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
that's awesome. It must be nice having a mom that doesn't hate you,
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
I'll drive her
or just
crazy.
having a mom in general.
Right. I'm an orphan.
Yeah,
I count myself very fortunate to have a cool friend as my mom.
it's actually, I think you're the second person that we've talked to that has said the same thing, that their mother was supportive of them. And funny enough, I think it was another woman. So it seems to be that like that mother daughter connection like sometimes can bring about like a lot of different things, when it's the other way around, it's a dad and father connection, it's just people pro wrestling and fighting each other.
Well, my stepdad is also a big supporter. So
Awesome.
Winkler is not actually my last name; it's my stepdad's last name. And when I started acting, I took my stepdad's last name professionally. And
Oh, that's a cool
since
It's
most
tribute.
of my work has nudity in it, of course, my dad is not okay seeing that. So
Sure.
he's supportive. He just doesn't go see the movies unless I'm not nude in them.
Yeah. So is your dad's name Henry?
No, but okay, two fun things about Henry Winkler right now. I had met him back in March at Horror Hound Weekend, and I told him, and everyone asked if we're related. May I start lying to people and saying we are? And he goes, absolutely. So I finally get to tell my mother this story in person over the weekend, and she goes, well, technically you actually are. Mind blown immediately. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, it's not like you could ask him for money or anything, but distantly down the line, technically you are related. So, yes, I am technically related to Henry Winkler.
That's
Uh,
that's
I
that's
just
sick.
I just wanted to say for everybody listening to the podcast, we are big enough now that we have the Winkler family on here.
Yeah. So my distant cousins, the Baldwins, can start answering the phone calls.
I just stay away from them though. You might get shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
Is that
Good
too?
call.
Is that too soon?
yeah.
some distance.
Maybe
Is there
maybe
like
just text him. Maybe.
yeah? It'll be just the squirt gun response, like the emoji.
Oh, that's
Slightly
so
less
bad.
dangerous.
Oh, that's so bad.
Welcome to the Watchers, by the way.
I love it.
Is there like a specific movie that you and your mom kind of like bonded over? Maybe like the inspiration for the Creature of the Black Lagoon thing that you do?
I wouldn't say it's the inspiration, but we definitely bonded over like 80s horror. My mom is a huge like fan of Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Demons, stuff like that. But Frankenhooker, I would say, is definitely one that we've bonded over because it's my favorite. And she's the reason I even know about stuff like that.
Yeah, just we talked to Frank Farrell about Frankenhooker a long time ago, but that's not the first time Frankenhooker has come up on this show. That's a cool movie, and um,
And Patty Mullen's wonderful.
yeah, for sure. So, man, JC, I brain
What?
farted. Go ahead, take over.
Just passing it over to me like I know what's going on.
This has happened
So
a couple of times in our history.
Yeah, it's real weird. We just sit here in
My
silence for a while.
my brain doesn't work.
I mean, hey, this is like the reality of a podcast, right? Like sometimes you're like,
What do we do
But
now? Where do we
the
go?
difference is they'll edit it, and I'm just gonna throw this up
yeah,
as
we
is.
leave it in here. Like it's part of our charm is that we don't know what we're
Exactly.
doing.
You guys make it all realistic.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
originally the podcast was called "A Couple of Chuckle Fucks," and
And now it's called that, but people don't say it out loud.
we kept getting censored. So
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
But I'm not even gonna try to look at the notes that I took earlier because that's the problem. I can't read, and then I get all discombobulated. So
He's also blind.
That's true.
Yeah, didn't he used to wear glasses?
Yeah, I just stopped wearing them.
Oh, okay.
If you need them, though, clearly, if you need them, wear them.
It's a midlife crisis thing. I don't want to wear them anymore. They make my beard look grayer.
Your glasses aren't making your beard gray. You need them.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how that
You
works. I
can
think that's
see
just
the
your
gray.
beard.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can't see them anymore. So the hairs aren't as gray.
Oh, I get it.
Oh my god.
Well, this took a turn for sure.
Yeah,
I don't even know where to pick up again. Maybe
we're
just
terrible, awful
I
people.
I fucking love it, dude.
So you do the detective horror act a couple, or we actually didn't even say act. You just really like eating bugs. Have you ever had like a thing that was too weird for you to do? Like something that was like, maybe I'm not going to do that.
Like for film?
For
Or in
film,
general?
well, in film.
Okay.
Or I mean, I guess as part of your career. So it doesn't have to be film, but
when it comes to like the different career stuff that I have, I'm pretty versatile in all the different things that I do. When it comes to acting, I haven't really been presented with a role that was too uncomfortable for me. I've done some pretty aggressive roles. I've covered kidnapping, SA, heavy gore, violence, trafficking. I've done a lot of pretty harsh roles for that kind of stuff. When it comes to like sideshow and things like that, I try not to do anything too much that'll hurt me. We have friends in the sideshow industry who are human pincushions and will put needles completely through their mouth all the way across and everything. And I'm just not really there yet. But I support all my sideshow friends who do.
So that's a no on the self-mutilation.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of self-mutilation. I actually was asked very politely by a lot of film friends that if I ever decided to do staples, please don't.
I've been stapled.
That's in backyard wrestling. Yes, you have been stapled.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but
it is. Yeah, if you're doing the staples, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, no, you just need my buddy Jeremy. He'll do the stapling for you. Yeah, dollar bills and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I was asked very politely, please not to do that.
Is there a reason? What is the reason for that?
Scarring. When you're an actor, they actually encourage you to have fewer tattoos, fewer piercings, not as wild colored hair, which everyone who's kind of followed my career, my hair keeps changing. And usually when it's the color black, that means I'm currently filming. And when it's bright green, which is my favorite for it to be, it's really difficult to do a lot of roles because then you're kind of locked into a very small box of what you can do looking alternative.
Yeah, I imagine that kind of just puts you in this very specific kind of thing. So that makes absolute sense.
Now, I have had tattoos airbrushed off for film. During Gush, I actually have on my right leg quite a lot of tattoos. I have a big xenomorph stripper going down my thigh. I had to have that airbrushed every single morning before we began filming. My entire leg.
How long did that take? Like, what was the process on that?
Ellie and I got that done probably around 2 hours or so. It got faster every day we did it. I would help paint the first layer, and Ellie would airbrush over.
Yeah, that's dedication. I know everybody kind of feels differently about makeup chairs and stuff and having applications done, but
I
I've
love it.
never. Yeah, I was just gonna say I've never heard anybody say that they love it. So you beat me to it.
In the barn part 2, I had a lot of prosthetic put on me for my death scene.
Yeah, I actually have not seen the Barn 2 yet.
It's so much fun.
I think I have to check our schedule. I book like 4 or 5 shows a week, months in advance, but I'm pretty positive the director is going to be on soon to talk about
Justin?
that. I think so. Like
He's
I definitely had a conversation with him about coming on. So yeah, I'll watch it soon.
Just finished wrapping up the 3rd one, I think.
Yeah. I think that's what led me to.
Do we know what the second one's streaming on?
I don't know if it's streaming. At least not off the top of my head. I know in my links, I have access to get to their website so people can buy a physical copy.
Perfect. The best kind of copy.
So before I take us into more lunacy, you had talked about some of these harsh roles that you have done and some of the topics that are covered. Is there like a certain headspace that you have to get into to tackle those issues, or are you just kind of able to, come to grips with this is a script and it's not, I disappeared, and it's not real, and you know what I mean?
Kind of. There was a time that I tried some method acting and really tried to live in that headspace. And I will say method actors put themselves through hell to become that character. And it's very difficult to pull yourself out sometimes. That's why we've seen a lot of awful things happen as some of the larger actors in the mainstream media, and like how their mental health declines afterwards. So for the most part, I will be that character when the cameras are rolling, and then I'm back to being silly and goofy afterwards. But there are times that I will pull myself away from everyone if it's a very serious role, if it's someone who's more standoffish, and just to kind of help keep that character going. With doing the essay scenes, for Plankface, for example, the actor that I did that scene with, we actually had a long conversation with each other before we even shot it. And then we had a recovery conversation with each other after we shot that scene. And that was kind of how we coped with what was happening. And we had both agreed we were going to make it look as real as possible and violent. And we succeeded. I did another film called Violet, which I don't believe is streaming, or if it is, it's still on Amazon Prime. That one's really hard for a lot of people because when we've made that movie, I had not told anyone what had happened to me before that movie was filmed. I had been SA'd. I publicly talk about it now and why that movie's so important. That movie was my way of healing and coming back from what had happened. And when I had told the director after the movie was done why I hadn't told anyone, he said, well, if I had known, I would have never hired you. I said, well, if I had told you, I would have never had this opportunity.
Yeah. I guess in some regards, people don't quite understand, like the survivor mentality. I mean, I joke about stuff that happened to me a lot when I was a kid. So to the point where some people don't even kind of believe that stuff actually happened, because my sense of humor is so dark about it.
Dark humor really
But
helps.
yeah, no, I can absolutely relate to what you just said. I'm sorry that it happened.
I came to terms with it a long time ago. I am 100% okay now. But I've had people ask, they said, well, would you ever do another essay scene for a film again? It's like, yeah, because it's all pretend. It's still acting. I am still going to do the same thing I've done before, where I sit down with the actor, we talk about it before and after. And that's kind of how we move forward with it. We don't let it affect us.
Yeah, and I guess that's it's a real critical way to kind of tackle that the scene too. I know that like kind of like the larger Hollywood productions now kind of have those coaches that are in those scenes, but
We have intimacy.
yeah,
Oh, I can't say it. There, see, we had this talk with
yeah,
dyslexia earlier.
yeah, but you said that,
Intimacy coordinator.
Thank you.
yeah,
My brain
yeah.
is like gonna mess it up if I tried.
So I'm kind of like shocked to learn that kind of on the smaller scale, you have that stuff as well. And
Oh yeah. Usually, if a film company can afford it, they will have it. It's how we make the scene look good. If you have two actors who have never met before and don't quite have good chemistry with each other, and you need them to make a very intimate, realistic looking moment on camera, it's not going to happen. But if you have someone there to help walk them through it, it looks better. And then everyone's comfortable. No one's ever made uncomfortable. Nothing is ever done to anybody that shouldn't happen. It's much easier.
yeah, yeah. So like we all love horror, and that's a really fun world to play in. But is there any ambition that you have to maybe kind of spread your wings and get into some other stuff?
Well, I would love to do some more action stuff and more science fiction. Uh, and most people know I am obsessed with horror. It's pretty much all I watch is sci-fi and horror. I want to be a monster in something really bad. Like I want full makeup, monstrous roles. But I
So
can't see myself in anything like super lovey-dovey, soft, no Hallmark kind of
I
style.
was just gonna say you're perfect for Hallmark movies.
That's what I'm told.
that's all he watches.
That
So
is all I watch, honestly. The Christmas ones, absolutely.
Oh, not for me.
yeah, I
You
don't get
gotta.
it either.
It wasn't always for me, but when I started to appreciate like what they were actually, it was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. I mean, it's the same story every time. Woman leaves rich
Hmm.
husband in New York City, goes off to the woods, finds a new husband. But they're good. Like I don't.
I'll admit it, they're good. They're just, if I come home and I want to relax, there's a horror movie or a kaiju monster on my TV screen, and I'm falling asleep to that.
Yeah, there's
Well,
nothing more
it's just
you
me
know
then.
relaxing than seeing somebody dismembered in front of you.
It's
You know,
cathartic.
like how that's comfort food. Have you ever considered getting onto the other side of the lens and
Yes,
maybe
actually,
yeah? Yeah. Do
I
you have
have a
any
script.
projects in mind? Oh,
I
okay.
wrote a script earlier this year. It's for a short. I really would like to make it happen. My husband is actually working on learning some more like cinematography, filmography. He's my main photographer that I work with, so we're kind of translating it that way to see if we can make the short happen.
That's cool. You able to talk about plot or anything?
So it's currently the idea is a chat room gone awry. A young woman just goes home, unwinds, gets on a chat room to just role play and have a good time. And somebody starts harassing her through the chat, and it just gets progressively worse and violent from there. But at max, I don't want it more than 10 minutes. I want it a short.
Yeah,
That'll
that's
be
actually it's a really good concept that I don't know if I've ever so much seen covered in movies. I mean, I think there was a couple
It
movies that
was a
were about like
fever dream.
yeah, there was the one movie some years ago about like the Facebook where there was like a
Hmm.
stalker on Facebook,
Uh, Unfriended or something like
Unfriended.
that.
And I
Yeah.
think yeah, it was Unfriended. And I think there was one more even before that, but I've not seen the chat room
Yeah,
horror.
for
I think
this,
there's a
there's
whole
only 2
genre
actors
there.
in it. It's super short. Most of it I have it in my head is you reading the chat. So you're not even really seeing the actors, you're seeing the chat unfold instead.
I think there's a whole genre there that you're going to open up.
That'd be
That's
cool.
Yeah,
like
that's
imagine
pretty
like,
sick.
and now we can have period film for like the 1990s, early 2000s, where people are getting murdered through AOL instant messenger.
That would be kind of neat.
Drew, take a note on that.
I mean,
Alright.
anyone who ever did chat rooms like that and forums, like, you read some pretty weird shit.
Yeah,
And I used to do that as a kid. I'd come home, I'd get on the computer, I'd hop on these chat rooms, I'd do some role playing just to unwind, have a good time. And some people just take it a little bit too far. So, what happens when they take it too far and it becomes reality? It's this parasocial kind of relationship between you and another person through the screen.
yeah, and the scariest part of that is you don't know who the other person is.
Exactly.
That's the horror.
And you don't know if they know who you are.
Right, yeah. I was just gonna say, like you talked about that parasocial connection. Like every creator, every YouTuber, every podcaster, everybody has that relationship now with people who, you know, were public. So it could just literally be anybody. I think that's sick. I can't wait to
I've
see
had
it.
stalkers. I've had online harassment to the point where I can easily block somebody, but they'll go through other channels to try and get a hold of me. The burlesque troupe I used to be in actually got harassed pretty severely by a fan from overseas. Of course, they
Overseas.
handled it like absolute champs. They trolled that guy like crazy.
That's
It
nuts.
was either India or Pakistan. Just gonna say it.
India.
Oh.
India.
Wow, what a surprise!
When some of my films start streaming on free platforms, I will actually get a large influx in fans from India. And this guy was from there, and he just couldn't take no for an answer.
He just wanted the bobs and the vagine, right?
Yeah, but pretty aggressively and threateningly.
Well, okay,
Jeez.
that's a little
Now,
different.
I've had some wonderful fans from India who have let me know that if my husband and I ever decide to visit India, they are paying for everything. I get to go meet their mothers, their fathers, their kids. I have free places to stay wherever I want if I ever visit India, apparently.
I
You
was
almost
told by some students from India that it's like dollar to dimes, so cheap for
I had a
Westerners
friend
to
just come
live
back
over
from
there.
there. It's
Like,
beautiful over there.
and for the price of like a studio apartment, you can have a mansion. Like, I have been considering moving to India just so I could walk around like
I
a
have 2
prince.
friends doing that, actually.
by Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are looking at moving over there. They fell in love with it.
I'm only going if I can poop in the street.
Well,
I think that's frowned upon.
I don't know about that. I don't know about it in India.
but I guess what Nepal just had, like, a bunch of kids just killed the prime minister's wife and took over the government. So it made me like
Yeah.
wait a little bit.
Nepal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Nepal.
Yeah.
So not to talk about geopolitical sciences on
We
a
don't
horror
talk about politics on here.
horror podcast, but I just thought that was an interesting random thing in that area of the world where a bunch of like 20-year-olds were like, you know what, fuck you, and change the world. But
The younger generations are here. They're going to outlive all of the older generations, so they might as well make a change.
right, and that's why you don't wear your glasses, so you can't see yourself becoming the older generation right before your eyes.
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, the eventual older generation will become just as bad as the generation before.
See, all I have
it's
to
just always
do
gonna be a shift. There always has to be some movement.
I'm 10 years younger now. All I had to do is turn my hat around.
Okay, well, on that note, everybody, thanks for coming and watching the podcast. Drew is now 25.
Yeah, there you go. Um, but we're hitting that
Give me
time
one
again.
second. Hey, wake up. I'm so sorry. My cat is asleep next to me and she was starting to snore really loud that I was worried it would get picked up on the camera.
Oh, we
That's
could.
okay.
Well, no,
Normally it's my dog doing something weird.
well, she's
So
like a 15-pound cat and she's just slowly getting louder. So I had to just gently wake her up so she can go in the other room.
she's trying to go into REM here, and you're just shaking her. No.
Like, hey, wake up.
Okay, so we are kind of hitting that point, and we unfortunately did have the timing issues with our platform.
Yeah.
So we
Sorry.
we
Love to
like
have
to
you
be
back on.
Yeah, this was fun. We like to be respectful of people's time. I don't want to force you to stay any longer. One thing that we always do is the guest has the last couple of moments to plug everything, and I mean everything, every single thing that you can possibly plug.
All
But
21 of the links.
before you do that, I just want to get one more question in so that I can feel like like I'm on C-SPAN or something. But like, any advice you have for actors who might be coming up in a similar position that you were 10 years ago at this point, who might want to be hiding the first few movies under a different name, that you can spare for them?
I got into acting just by going to a horror convention and talking to independent filmmakers. I got offered a background role that turned into an actual larger role for a film. So the best thing I can tell people is get out there. Just go meet these directors, go to these film festivals, go sit down and watch an independent movie and ask questions. Ask how the actors got into the films. Ask how you can get into them. You can offer to be a background character. You can audition for stuff. There are roles that I am just offered right off the bat, and there are roles that I audition for. But none of that would have happened had I not gone to just a simple horror movie convention and just asked a couple questions.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
go ahead and promote away.
Well, as it shows in the video, allmylinks.com/Alyss Winkler. That has just an ever-changing variety of different links. I have my IMDb. I've got a couple links on there to watch movies of mine that are streaming, where you can purchase physical copies of my movies that are available. My small business, the Crystal Witches. So access to getting like what shows I'm going to be at next for that, what art I've got going on, what's for sale. Burlesque links. And then I also have any Indiegogo campaigns currently going on are all listed there. I think right now I have Sexy Sorority Sisters of Death, which is an all or nothing film. So hopefully we make all of that. And then we get to make this badass movie where I play the character Carla.
That's T13, right? Matt Anderson. Yeah, we had him. He was on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yep. This will be my first time working with him, and I'm really excited. And I hope I get the opportunity because the character's a fucking badass. I love this character, and I want to see her happen. So I've got that, and then I've got Barbara attached there, where I get to finally be a zombie in a movie. And I'm ecstatic about it because I'm playing a punk rock ghoul.
Okay. That harkens back to that 80s zombie stuff that you were watching with your mom.
Yep. Very much Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah. Or Return. Yeah, Return.
But yeah, I've got all of my stuff there, from my modeling, my film work, my burlesque, my sideshow, and my oddities business with my best friend.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool. We implore everybody to check them out. She's super cool, and not just for taking the time to come chat with us and watch us have brain farts, but you're hard pressed to find a decent indie horror movie right now that she's not listed somewhere in the credits. So you likely have
find it. It's on IMDb. If it's not on there, you're not gonna find it.
That's a challenge now.
I mean, I've had people find them before and go, "Oh my god, is this you?" I'm like, Yeah, except I don't look like that anymore. I was like maybe 22 when I started working in film. Something like that. I'm 34 now.
No.
Oh.
And I didn't actually. We don't like to ask age and stuff like that, but I was kind of wondering if you do not look 34. I was
Thank
way
you.
off. Way off.
Yeah.
I won't
I'm
say what I
34.
thought, but I was way off.
No, go for it. What did you think I was?
70.
Damn. Now I'm insulted.
No, I was thinking
Take
about
the
probably. I
glasses.
thought honestly, I was thinking like 24, 25 to be honest.
I get that a lot, and as I get older, I mean, I'm gonna keep riding with that because it makes me feel better. But no,
Yeah.
I dye my hair so no one sees the gray. So see, you don't have to not wear your glasses; just dye your beard.
Just shave your hair off and then you're good. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Seriously,
Absolutely.
it's been awesome. Sorry
Thanks for
about the
having me.
issues we had and stuff like that. We'll have to have you back on in the future.
I would love to. I'll have more films to talk to you guys about.
Awesome.
Perfect. So we have an outro that we play for the audience to know we're done. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to.
No, you're free. You're free.
You're no longer hostage.
I will probably go smash some pizza then. It luckily just got here right before we started filming.
Wait, real quick. One last question. What kind of pizza?
Supreme.
From where?
It's Papa John's because it's down the street from me.
No hate. No hate. No, okay, Drew. I eat Little Caesars all the time. I don't care.
I had points saved up on it, so it cost me less than $20 for this large pizza.
Yeah, I like the little banana peppers that they give you.
Oh, I love. Oh, the pepperoncini.
Pepperoncinis, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta ask for more though, because they only give you one.
Yeah, I usually save it for my husband because it's one of his favorites.
Oh, I love them. That's awesome. All right. Well,
enjoy your pizza.
Awesome.
Enjoy your pizza, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This has been another episode of The Watchers, and we'll catch you later.
The preceding program has been brought to you by the Watchers Podcast Network. If you enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends to help grow our network. Check us out on all social media platforms, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, thanks for your support.